Hi, my name is Umesh, and today we will be discussing about the recent military coup that happened in Myanmar. So, this coup basically was between the two parties, the military junta or the Tatmadaw, as it is widely known. So, the military of Myanmar swept to power in the early morning of 1st February 2021 before the newly elected government could convene a meeting in the parliament. So the leader of the state, Aung San Suu Kyi, the state councillor, who is the chief of National League for Democracy (NLD), she won with a landslide victory in the year 2020 in the month of November last year. So because of this, fearing the future of itself of the military were concerned about their future in Myanmar, and because of which they imposed 1 year state of emergency in Myanmar. So there are a lot of factors basically which led to this particular event. We will try to understand this one by one. All right, so just follow me with this. Okay, so now the topic begins here. Now, so you are aware about this. The as you can see in the slide itself. Um, so basically, Aung San Suu Kyi, who is the leader of the ruling party, who won with the landslide victory in November 2020, she has been detained, and and the country is being run by the military power. Now, so as you can see in the picture on the left hand side, she is none other than the iconic figure Aung San Suu Kyi. You must be quite aware of this personality. And on the right hand side, you can see the current leader, the de facto leader of the state of Myanmar. So this person is responsible for the coup that happened in the month of February, and it's been around 40 days since then. So now this whole phenomena, if you want to know about what this particular form of government known as, so this is stratocracy basically. So stratocracy, unlike democracy, is a government that is run by the military power. So run by the military chiefs, or you can say, okay, so this is run by military chiefs. So once this military came to power, they formed a state administration council. Here you can see state administration council, and Min Aung Hlaing, who is the general of the state of Myanmar, became the chairman, and now he is the current leader of the state. Okay, and Aung San Suu Kyi has been deposed. Now let's just know about the state administration council, about its configuration, who all are there in this council. So yeah, we also call it the military junta, as I've already discussed in the beginning of this lecture. And the chairman by default is Min Aung Hlaing, who is also the general of state of Myanmar. And its composition it comprises of 8 military officers and 8 civilians, and is chaired by the chairman itself, who is the commander-in-chief of defense services. Okay, and one special thing I would like to mention here is the state administration council, which is running the state of Myanmar right now, has been designated as a terrorist group by CRPH. The CRPH group here, the CRPH group has designated this state administration council as a terrorist group. Now you will ask, what is CRPH? CRPH is nothing but the government of Myanmar, which is running in exile. So the government is running in exile because the current ruling government, which was voted to power, had been deposed, so they are running the government in exile. Let's just know about the CRPH. So CRPH which means the committee representing Pyadongsu Hlutao is the government, as you can see here in the first point. So it's basically the government of Myanmar in exile, and this committee comprises of 17 members from the Pyuthu Hluttaw, you can say the lower house. So it is the lower house, like we have in India Lok Sabha and Amyotha Hluttaw. So this is the upper house of the state of Myanmar, like we have Rajya Sabha in India. All right, so just remember these facts. Don't need to just know the names. Just remember what these things are for. Now we are concerned about the factors which triggered this whole coup. What were the reasons? So in the year 2020, last year only, when the elections happened, so military demanded UEC, United Election Commissions, demanded from the UEC or the government and the outgoing parliamentarians to prove that the elections conducted in the month of November were free and fair. However, the government rejected the demands of military. Hence, some experts are of the opinion that this could have resulted to the event. And also the second reason I would like to share, this is NLD sweeping elections. So NLD sweeping elections here, okay. Second point. The second point is basically, in the year 2015, the first democratic election happened in the state of Myanmar in 2015. So in 2015, whatever the seat count was, so in the seat count in the current election, that is November 2020, they won with even higher margin. So this led to a fear in the military that this could be a game changer for the state of Myanmar, and it will loosen the grip of military over the state of Myanmar. And because of this, military decided to take sweep to power. All right, so this is basically, you can just have a look, read, pause, and you can just read the details of the factors. And one more thing I would like to share. So there are some seats in Myanmar, in Parliament of Myanmar, which are reserved for the military. All right, so experts have opined that the coup was orchestrated because the Janta feared that the government of NLD leader Suu Kyi would try to reduce the number of seats, because once a party is in power with lot of seats, so it has got sweeping powers in its hand and it can do anything. So this was the fear basically in the state of Myanmar, which resulted in the coup. All right, now important for us right now is to know what are the factors and how it affects India. Okay, so you must have gone through a lot of articles, pointing out that India is silent and India is not saying anything regarding the events that are unfolding in the state of Myanmar. However, there is also a diplomatic side to it. Okay, so let's just know the India stand as per the officials who have been giving out statements after the events. So India is not likely to make any kind of India is not going to draw back from any of its engagement with the military, because given the China factor. So China factor basically is like China has got its influence in the Myanmar region. So if India tries to recede from Myanmar, it is going to trouble India. So because of that, I don't think that India is going to draw back from the state of Myanmar, and it continues to be in alliance with the current government, that is military government. And instead of condemning the state of Myanmar, the leadership in Myanmar currently, New Delhi feels that it should work with the partner countries to lean on the military to work together to resolve their differences in a peaceful and constructive manner. That's how the regional development of the South Asia can happen. So that is also one factor. And third one is Beijing's growing political, military, and economic footprint in Myanmar has to be countered effectively, and that can be a reality only when India doesn't isolate Myanmar. Okay, so the latest development as I am recording this video, if I talk about the lives lost, it is overwhelming, and in uh, on Sunday itself 50 lives were lost, and till now 138 lives at least have been lost in the violence. And the price of basic commodities like fuel prices and the food, that have skyrocketed. So the prices of would have gone up till 30%. Can you just imagine how tough it would have been for the people of Myanmar? So it's very tough for people living in Myanmar, and thousands of protesters took to the streets after this coup happened, and a lot of violence is happening. I don't know when exactly this is going to stop, but UN has expressed its displeasure about this event. So that was all about the uh, development that has happened, and what can we expect in the state of Myanmar. So that's all for today, I guess. So we will be discussing about some other events in the coming video. Stay tuned. Thank you.